Welcome to Maria's Yoga. I invite you to walk through a simple process of beginning your headstand. How often have you seen yogis or yoginis in a headstand? You're like, that's what I want to do. When I first started practicing, that's what I wanted to do also. It was like that aha moment, something very exciting that got you to come back to your mat again and again. But how many people really instruct the simple basics of the posture so that you can do it with integrity, that you can do it successfully? So just like I began, we're going to begin against the wall. So we're not actually going to use the wall as our security blanket, like I'm just throwing my legs up into the wall. We're going to work into this process and know that the wall's there for support, but not really throw ourselves into it, because that's called momentum. And all momentum does is throw you off your edge and you go spiraling over the other side of the mountain. So here we're going to begin one step at a time, knowing that this prop, the wall, is there, the prop of the mat is here, and we're very stable and secure, and we can make the process simple. So let's begin now. We're going to find ourselves coming into table pose. Make sure you're facing the wall so you know that you have that security there. You're going to have the mat probably about a foot away from the wall, and then your hands maybe about a half a foot away from the top of the mat. Find that nice stable table where you have index fingers straight forward, thumb nice and long and flat, inner elbows gazing at each other. Now you don't want weight leaning back heavily into the hips, and you don't want to shift weight heavily into the chest. You want to find that nice equal balance here. So move around a little bit. Notice if you have that intention. Finding that lower belly, lower it towards the earth and lift up your chin and hips just to open up the spine a little bit here. And maybe before you even come into this opportunity to go into the process of headstand, you come through a couple of your sun salutations. Maybe Surya Namaskara A or Surya Namaskara B, just to warm up the body, just to feel that presence. Because many times your inversions are done at the end of your practice. Once you feel like you've done some cats and cows and you feel like the spine is undulated and you feel nice and secure here, take a nice deep full inhale. Find a deeper exhalation. And then notice how the belly opens and closes when you're breathing. That's where our true breath is coming from. And you want to make sure that you engage the lower abdominal wall. That's called our Uddiyana Bandhas. You want to zip in that lower abdominal wall about 2 finger breaths below the belly button. And you want to draw it up and towards the heart. Take a full intention here. I'm going to move through the process. I'm going to notice my journey. I'm not rushing to the destination of this headstand. And many times when I teach in class, I don't even mention what we're doing. We just go through the process of the steps in the direction. Take another full inhale. Next time you exhale, bend the elbows and bring those forearms and palms flat onto the earth. So you want the elbows directly underneath those shoulders. Now I haven't shifted the weight back and down like in child's pose. I haven't shifted it forward. I'm just in this neutral, safe zone. You're going to grasp the opposite elbows by taking those fingertips and actually feeling them wrap around the outside of those elbows, both sides. Once you find that stability, notice where the shoulders and the elbows are in line with each other. That's where they need to stay. You don't want to fray them out any wider, and once you start to move into walking the feet up, you don't want them to collapse inward either. You want to push right through those elbows. And then bring those fingertips to a V right at the top of your mat. So the fingertips are just going to touch. And then you're going to intertwine all the fingers and the thumb. And then gently start to open up the palms, like you're letting somebody put their foot in there so you can help them over a fence. And while you have those thumbs opened and they're drawing towards the earth, take a look into your palms. Notice this intention of finding your journey. Not rushing to the end of the book of your life, the end of this chapter, the process of, ooh, I finally got that. But really enjoying where we're going step by step. Keeping the palms just as they are, tuck your chin into your chest. Feel that nice contraction of the chin in, so you're bringing the crown of your head. The fontanelle area on an infant is now a nice strong place to place onto the earth. Now don't put your forehead in your palms.
And don't put the crown of the head inside your palms. You actually want the chin tucked in, and you want to put the crown of the head in front of your hands right on the earth. And then gently let the hands go behind the head, just binding them softly. Now notice my elbows did not move. You want to keep them aligned just underneath those shoulders. Now you're going to begin the process of curling your toes under so you have the balls of the feet engaged. Now the head is just there, but you're not using the head to hold up the body. You're pushing through that shoulder plexus, the forearms, and the strength of those two combined. You're going to gently pull up the lower belly to rise off of your knees, finding yourself here now just balancing on those forearms and shoulders. Now a great beginner is to walk the feet upwards, take a stop, and then walk the feet back. Feeling that process of lifting through the core. And then maybe you even bring the knees back down and you take a break here. Still keeping the steadiness and security of the alignment of your elbows and shoulders. Take a couple deep breaths. Next inhalation, draw in the lower belly as you exhale, and then rise off the knees, and then begin the walking process again. So you feel this opening of the spinal column. Now right here, you're going to feel that your hips are rising over those shoulders, and then you can gently, either one leg or both legs, rise it up. Slowly and securely. Now you know the wall's there. So if you do this and you slam into the wall, that's okay. You find your belly button coming back in. You move the feet away from the wall. You push through those shoulders, and then you balance here. Maybe the toes come on with a bent knee. You're like, oh, I don't know. And then you take the toes off. And then maybe you push through those elbows more, and you can get those feet aligned. Now the balls of the feet are pointing up, and the toes are peeled back. And now the wall's there, so you can always use it as support if needed. And you find that lower abdominal wall assisting you to make yourself lighter, and you haven't moved the elbows at all. And then as you're here, you just breathe softly. You take your soft drishti across the room, and you feel and look at something that's not moving, so that you have the security there with your eyesight. And then you breathe in and you breathe out. And if the process takes you more than one time, that's great, because we're learning by trial and error. As you find yourself here and you can find that strength in the lower abdominal wall, maybe you can start to drop the legs together or separately, whatever works for you, and find the feet flexing so you have energy through the heels, and then come to that nice L shape with the body. That's just going to give you a little more strengthening for your core, and your hips are still over your shoulders. And then you gently can lower down. If it goes faster, it goes faster. Who cares? And then you uncurl your toes. You drop those hips onto your heels for folded leaf. As the belly is supported here on the thighs, lengthen those arms. Feel the forehead coming to the earth, and then surrender here. Let the transition of fluid move back to where it needs to be. We don't want to just pop out of this headstand. I know sometimes you're excited, you're like, woo, I did it, and you jump right up. But you want to give your body that sensation transference to let it just continue to be serene, peaceful. Once you notice yourself breathing in deeply, exhaling even more deeply, there's a natural exhalation pause that happens right after the exhale. Let it happen. Flood the body with this intention of being happy with what process occurred, not judging yourself at all. This is a non-judgment zone. And then, as you feel the presence of your palms into the earth, start to lift up the forehead and start to walk your hands back slowly. You come right into that hero seat. Feel the shoulders pulling away from the ears. Notice it was a lot of strength that you used in your shoulders and forearms. Be grateful for it. Take the inhale, rise the arms up, gather that intention of noticing your journeys, not only here on your mats, but in your daily lives, and bringing those palms back to your heart center. Bowing your chins, closing your eyes, finding this peace and this tranquility. And that's headstand. So take the process slowly. Enjoy it.
Be kind to yourself, knowing that we didn't all wake up doing that.